for government to work, this government to work, it's done by as a group. It's not a dictatorship. You don't have one person telling everybody what to do. You have elected officials, and it's usually a group of them, delegates, senators, commissioners, chair, council members. It's a group that's elected to govern that community, and that group has to work together to move it forward. No independent councilman or commissioner or delegate has the authority or power to do anything without the consensus of the entire group, which safeguards the public's rights, because the public elected a group to lead us, not one person to lead us. If they wanted one person to lead us, we'd have a dictatorship like England does, and we don't function that way. Our system of government is a democracy where it's led by a group. Prince George's County Councilman, I think, gave me the best description of how government works. He said it's just like making sausage. He said you mix the meats and the seasonings and all together, and then you taste it. If it's not what you want, you add a little more of this or a little bit of that, or take a little bit of this away, and you keep mixing those things together until you get the right formula of what you want. And government's the same way. You have to keep working at it. It's a work in progress every day. You're looking at the needs of the community, how to make sure the community's growing and alive and viable and healthy, and you try and move it forward through the legislations and the rules and regulations that you pass. And you try and do that, I try and do that within the means that we have. In other words, if we have $500 to work on a project, then I can't spend $600 on that project. You spend within your means. So you always say everybody may like to drive a Mercedes, but you may not be able to afford to drive a Mercedes, so you have to drive a Chevy or a Ford. And that's just what you have to do to live and move forward, and government's no different. You live within your means, and you move government forward at the pace you can afford to move it forward. You build roads, you build libraries, you build schools, because those are important infrastructures that will go on from generation to generation.